And I usually say this, that when it comes to mentorship, when it comes to having somebody ambaye anakusharpen na anakusaidia, don't look far away. Begin with your pastor. The man of God, the woman of God ambaye Mungu amekuweka chini yake. Begin there. In the house of God. Kwa nyumba ya Mungu, anza pale. You know, mentorship begins in the house of the Lord. So spiritual leaders are given to us to mentor us, to mentor us. And then after your spiritual leader now, God can also give you somebody else close by. Ambaye pengine, if it's your profession, if it's your career, somebody. But generally, you know, when it comes to mentorship, don't look far away. Begin with the man and the woman of God ambaye uko chini yake. So that is very, very important. In the house of the Lord, mentorship begins there. Mentorship doesn't begin outside the house of God. Begin with your pastor. Anza na yeye. That is your number one mentor. Huyo ndiye Mungu alikupea akusharpen, akusharpen. Anaweza kuwa pengine afanya kile unafanya, maybe si mtu wa biashara, maybe si mwalimu kama wewe, haiko kwa ile line ya profession ambayo uko. But generally speaking, using the word of God, pastors, spiritual leaders, they are given the grace to sharpen all. Kusharpen watu wote, to sharpen all believers. So kikaa chini ya mentorship, and that's why mtu mwenye haiko kwa church, haiko kwa fellowship yoyote, na kuna gift, kuna calling, I tell you, that person is just destined for, for distraction. Kuna mtu alisema ya kwamba there are people that are an accident that is waiting to happen. Yani huyo mtu ni ajali ambayo inaweza fanyika anytime. Huyo mtu anaweza anguka wakati wowote. Anaweza pata ajali wakati wowote. So there's a big problem today that we have people that don't want to stay under mentorship. So mtu kuna gift, kuna potential, and then they are running up and down. I remember one time, I left campus. I was very zealous for some things, in the ministry. I came to Mizpah, and I was still, up and down, up and down, up and down. And one day I realized, like I'm just taking circles. Yes, I'm being invited to churches. I'm preaching, ministering, going for missions. I loved evangelism and outreach. So I was doing a lot of things. So I was all over, traveling all over. And, but it had an implication on my spiritual life. It had an implication on how far I could go spiritually and in ministry. And one day God just used the man of God, apostle, and he called me and said, I sense there's a very strong call of God upon your life. But you can't succeed like this. You can't be here and there. You need to settle. You need to settle under particular grace and grow, and allow that gift and that calling of God, to be sharpened. And as he spoke to me, I realized that is what I had lacked. Nilikuwa nimekosa fatherhood, nilikuwa nimekosa mentorship, nilikuwa nimekosa mahali naweza kani grow. And I always thank God because of that voice that came to me through the man of God. Na alinisaidia sana because I had my fellow young people about to go to napenda missions, and we were up and down, and we felt this is the thing of the hour. That hauna pastor uko tu everywhere. Yani like it's like you are a church. Yes, you are a traveling minister. Hii Sunday uko huko, hii Sunday nyingine uko huko, and then so hakuna mtu, we don't accountable to anybody. You don't have any fellowship. You don't have people that are praying for you. You don't have people you can call and say, what, please stand with me. Hauna watu kama hao. So that was a very tricky season for me, but I thank God I listened and I settled at Mizpah. And when I did that, I realized that there was too much in me that I don't even discover. Sikuwa nimejua. So mentorship is very, very important. If you're a young minister and you're watching, or you may not even be a young minister, you have a calling. Unasikia kabisa una mwito wa Mungu. Na hauna kanisa, hauna mchungaji ambaye uko chini yake. I tell you the truth ya kwamba hiyo gift na hiyo potential haitaenda mbali. Because God's model, hatuwezi enda outside ya model ya Mungu. God's